Anthony Edwards.
Dwyane Wade.
Anthony Edwards.
Dwyane Wade.
Anthony Edwards. Dwyane Wade.
22 seconds left in overtime.
At 79.
Edwards.
He decided right
Gordon
here.
defends on a switch.
Wade.
Crossover.
Puts it up.
It's
good.
Yeah, baby.
This kid is a live wire.
Yes.
On this episode of NBA Now and Then, the greatest comparisons, we compare two stars who made an early impact on their respective franchises.
This former number one pick is the alpha wolf that Minnesota needs to lead their pack.
His legacy is cemented, not just in Miami, but around the entire NBA.
If you go down the YouTube rabbit hole with their highlight videos, you may never come out.
We are delighted to return for Season 2 with this comparison featuring Anthony Edwards and Dwyane Wade. I'm Uriah.
I'm Maurice.
I'm Lucas.
And I'm Ben.
And we are here to talk NBA
Now and Then.
What's up, everybody? We are back. It is Season 2. The NBA season, we are on the brink of it right now as we speak. There's so much excitement. There was so much drama in the offseason with the trades and the free agent signings. Obviously, the Olympics was a huge ordeal for every basketball fan around the world. Guys, we're back. How's it feel to be back?
I'm happy.
Is it?
I'm very happy.
It feels great to be back doing something we all love to do.
Yeah, it feels nice. I feel more prepared. Last year was like kind of figuring it out. So I'm kind of really excited, especially for this one.
Our rookie season is over with.
Yep.
Yep, Season 2. That I wonder who's going to get most improved player this year.
Ooh.
Oh, man. That would have to be Winston.
Yep.
He's not even here with us right now. But I tell you what's been fun is in the offseason, each of us have had an opportunity to interview some people within or people that cover basketball. And Lucas and I, we interviewed Larry Atkins. Maurice and I, we interviewed who do we interview, Maurice? We interviewed
Giuseppe.
Yes, Mike Giuseppe. We interviewed Mike with the Sports Cards Nonsense podcast. And Ben and I, we were with Chris Wild, who's got a wild podcast, right?
He is wild. He lives up to that name, Chris Wild.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. So, and the great thing is between Season 2 and Season 3, we'll have this whole routine going of off-season interviews and just making sure that we have some bonus content for people so that we stay relevant within the podcast realm. So that being said, you guys ready to go?
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's get going to it.
Before we begin, we ask that you follow our show on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or anywhere else that you listen to podcasts. It really makes a difference as we are building our Comparison Hoops community. Now, we picked this comparison to be the first of Season 2 for good reason. Anthony Edwards is, man, he's just one of the hottest players in the league right now. Dwyane Wade is transitioning into the realm of sportscasting. I think he's got a deal with NBC, if I'm not mistaken. So the fundamental question that we're trying to answer is which player of today is most like D Wade? But I want to know from you guys, why are we talking about these players today? What is so special about this comparison? Lucas?
For me, I think it's just the sheer size and athleticism at the shooting guard position. You don't have very many players at that size and with that type of body control and athleticism playing the two guard position, dominating the way that those two have/did.
Yeah. Ben?
They're both elite kind of right away at defense and offense. And as you know, like usually it takes you till your mid to late 20s to have such a high IQ around it and both guys right away. I think D Wade famously was top 10 in the NBA in blocks for a few seasons.
Yeah.
Remember that? Yeah. And steals, obviously. And Anthony kind of has that too, that ability. He takes that defensive assignment that Kobe Bryant, wants to defend as well as not being afraid of taking the last shot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Maurice?
Two players who came into a new organization and completely changed the culture for the better. Both Miami and Minnesota were non-competitive. And from what we've seen so far in Minnesota, they're a top team in the West. And D Wade won a championship within 3 seasons.
Yeah.
So
Look, Lucas, the athleticism part, great point. Ben, two-way, defense and offense. And completely, both of these guys, impact players as soon as they join the cities that drafted them. What I'm going to say, I look at these players and they have so much charm. They have a magnetism about them that really helps them become marketable on and off the court. So, whether it's fashion, whether it's being in commercials, both players have really set themselves up for careers long after basketball. Now, that being said, let's get to the comparison.
First quarter, background.
All right, so it's time to talk about Ant-Man. But before he got that nickname, he was born Anthony Edwards on August 5th, 2001 in Atlanta, Georgia, according to an ESPN article written by Alex Scarborough. Anthony Edwards was raised mainly by his mother and grandmother. Although his dad gave him the nickname Ant-Man, he didn't see his dad very often as a kid. Now, his first love for sports did not come through basketball, though. Who can guess which sport Anthony Edwards was into first? Maurice?
I'm going to say, just based off his play style, I'm going to say football.
Ben?
I know this because of some Olympics coverage, so I'm gonna bow.
You're gonna wait.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm gonna wait.
Lucas.
I'm going to say football as well. Just the body type, he's built like a football player.
Right. Ben, what did you say? Or what did you hear?
It was football.
All right, you are all correct. Anthony Edwards was definitely into football, but guess what? He also played baseball. It's like, it's interesting. A lot of these players, including James Harden, we covered last season, a lot more players than you think actually grew up playing baseball.
I think he would have been pretty good at baseball.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I can see that.
Absolutely. As early as age 7, he was actually called a little baby Adrian Peterson in Pop Warner. He was that dominant. But as fate would have it, in middle school, he broke his ankle in football, and then he just gave up football for hoops. When he got to high school, Edwards' basketball skills brought a new spotlight to him. But unfortunately, tragedy struck in 2015. Both his mom and grandmother died from cancer just a few months later. His older brother and his sister legally became his guardians and bringing uncertainty to his future. Luckily, he had basketball to help him escape the pain of losing the two women that he loved the most. Anthony Edwards played at Thurl High School, but then transferred to Holy Spirit Prep. His junior year, somehow in the midst of his tragic loss, he was able to average 22.5 points, and he led his team to a state championship. Edwards' former high school coach, Ty Anderson, compared him to an NBA player who recently won a ring with the Celtics. Who was that comparison? Ben?
Jaylen Brown.
Lucas?
Yeah, that seems like, yeah.
Okay. And Maurice?
I'm going to go Drew Holiday.
That's a good one, too.
All right, Maurice, this is for you.
Oh.
Yeah.
I almost said Drew, but I was like, nah, that can't be right.
Yeah.
Good comparison.
Yeah, I would have gone either one, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think Drew Holiday is definitely like one of those two-way players that have that skill level that Ann is demonstrating. But I guess I could see the same thing for Jaylen Brown. Now, before Edwards went to college, he was a 5-star recruit, rated number 1 by 247sports.com and number 4 by ESPN. He was a McDonald's All-American, and he made first team All-Georgia. I'm going to go to Ben first. What do you take away from Anthony Edwards growing up in his early years?
That's tough to have the two people who raised you suddenly die.
Yeah.
Was he a freshman or in 8th grade? Yeah, that's hard. And then to be raised by your older siblings. It's interesting hearing that because you see Anthony Edwards currently. He's such personality. He's funny. He's a good actor. If you haven't seen the Adam Sandler movie, what's it called? Hustle. Yeah. He's really good and funny in that, and so it's interesting to see he's such a nice presence. Yeah. And like lights up a room to have gone through so much. So, that was surprising to me to hear that.
Lucas, anything stand out to you?
I mean, look, I lost about, and not to compare the same, I lost 2 grandparents in the span of a month. during my sophomore year college. Now, granted, they weren't my caretakers. They one of them we anticipated for a while. The other one was more sudden. But and if I felt that way with those grandparents who, weren't my caretakers, and then his grandmother and his mother, he could have gone down a very dark path, and I don't think very many people would have blamed him if he did. And yet his siblings did a fantastic job of not only taking over his care, but making sure that he stayed on the right path. I think that's huge.
And again, sports, such a critical guide for people, young people going through so much. When they need an escape, they need something to refocus them or maybe distract them from some of the pain. Maurice, anything stand out to you?
Yeah, when you go through that type of hardship as a young person, it only hardens you. It only makes you stronger. It keeps you grounded in a lot of ways. We see that in Anthony Edwards' personality. He could be a character sometimes. He could say some funny things, but he's a really down-to-earth dude. And just using that to help become McDonald's All-American and then go on to play college basketball and then go to the NBA. It shows a lot about his character. He's made of some stern, tough things. I'll say that.
When he actually started really getting into basketball, guys, one time he took a permanent marker and he wrote his goals on the wall at home, which you can imagine upset his grandmom at the time. But then in the article that I read, she looked at the goals that he wrote down as a kid, and she was really proud of it. You guys want to know what he wrote in the wall?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he wrote in permanent marker, future McDonald's All-American, future NBA player. So,
there you go. Shoot for stars.
Yeah, exactly. Maurice mentioned Anthony Edwards going to college. If you did not know, he actually played at the University of Georgia. Let's do a quick over-under. Over-under Anthony Edwards' vertical inch measurement as a freshman. 38-inch vertical. Over-under, Lucas.
I want to say over.
Ben?
Over.
And Maurice.
I think I'm going to go over as well.
Correct. He had a 39.5-inch vertical, but check this out. Within a month and a half, his vertical increased to 41.5 inches.
He did that box drill. That's what he did.
Oh, whatever drill worked.
He wore those shoes. Remember those shoes in the 90s? We used to wear.
The pump off? Yeah.
The calf. The calf.
It's like a platform. It's like a platform thing. Yeah. I don't know what he used, but whatever it was, it worked.
Did he grow?
I don't have that in front of me. What I will say, Maurice, is either vertical inch that I mentioned, either would be in the top 10 in most NBA drafts. So just go figure. And that was when he was at Georgia as first-year player. So Anthony Edwards had tremendous potential, but like most freshmen, he showed inconsistency in games when he was needed most. For example, he played against a top 5 team on national TV when he lagged on defense and shot 1 for 8 in the first half. Although he ended up with 37 points in that game, the Bulldogs lost by 8. Georgia coach Tom Crean was impressed by Edwards' remarkable skill, but he also praised the freshman's character too. He described how when Edwards was going to make his official UGA visit, he asked an assistant coach if he could bring his high school teammate. It was suspected that he just wanted to show off his visit over Christmas break, but Anthony Edwards was like, look, this kid is from Eastern Europe, and he just doesn't have anywhere to go, and I don't want him being by himself. A little character nugget there for you. As for his season at Georgia before going pro, he was one of only 2 Bulldogs to start all 32 games. He led Georgia in scoring, steals, and blocks. Second over-under of the day. How many points did Anthony Edwards average his first year at Georgia? Over-under 24 points per game. Maurice?
I'll go over.
Lucas?
I'll go under.
And Ben?
I'll go under.
All right. Maurice, this is for you. He averaged 19.5 points per game. In addition, he did score double digits 27 times, and he had 3 double-doubles. In 2020, Anthony Edwards entered his name into the NBA draft, where he was selected by the Minnesota Timberwolves.
With the first pick in the 2020 NBA Draft, the Minnesota Timberwolves select Anthony Edwards from the University of Georgia.
So Anthony Edwards with his mother and grandmother with him there in spirit. He knows which hat he can take out of that big box now, and it is the one that belongs to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Able to share the moment virtually with Commissioner Adam Silver. Anthony Edwards comes from Atlanta, Georgia. When he was just 3 years old, his dad started calling him Ant-Man, and it really started to stick. But he wasn't always destined to become a basketball player, because the Pop Warner Pee Wee Leagues for the Atlanta Vikings, he was running roughshod away from people.
All right, so obviously he was drafted by Minnesota. What did you take away from Anthony Edwards coming into the NBA? Lucas?
I thought that he was the right pick at the time, and it ended up being the case. There is something interesting about his college coach, but I suspect that you're saving that for when we get to D Wade.
Yeah, you can you bring that up. I know what you're going to say, but yeah, you'll be the first to bring that up.
They had the same college coach.
Yeah.
Tom Crean.
Yeah.
Tom Crean was head coach of Marquette for a long time.
Yeah.
I think right now, isn't he on hiatus right now, or he's?
I have no clue. I just know that that's a good grab that you had. They did get coached by the same college coach.
Yeah.
Maurice, what about you? What stands out to you?
What stands out to me was, I hate to be this guy, but the Minnesota Timberwolves made the right pick.
Okay.
Number 2 was James Wiseman.
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to laugh.
And his career hasn't really turned out well. So the Minnesota Timberwolves, they made the right pick, and based off his teammates, which we'll get to later, it was a good fit. It was definitely a good fit.
Yeah, Maurice, you are that guy. Poor Wiseman. He's still young. He still can be a good player.
He signed a 2-year deal with Indiana to be their backup center.
Right. He's still in the league. That's what matters. Ben, what about you?
Sure.
To piggyback on kind of what Maurice was saying, the COVID draft was so odd. And
yeah, I remember.
The 2020 draft was supposed to be weak, they considered, because they didn't really know who was going to go number 1. Believe it or not, a lot of mock drafts had Wiseman, you guys remember. And then they didn't know if it was going to be Ball. Halliburton slipped. Maxey slipped. A lot of guys.
I knew you were going to say Maxey.
Yeah.
Well, no, a lot of guys went late that are really high. Desmond Bain, Emmanuel Quickly. So Halliburton. So I would say, the fact that they picked the right guy, and just thinking back to that draft, it's so unusual. They couldn't really scout. They couldn't do individual workouts.
Yeah.
They essentially they said that they draft some guys off like YouTube highlights.
Oh, really? Did they?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Not literally, but like there was no NCAA tournament. It just was a very unique draft. So that's what kind of stands out to me, that he ended up being the right pick with all that.
Yeah. In the clip that Maurice found for this episode, you heard them saying that they were over Zoom. So imagine being drafted over the internet on the screen in front of your computer. It's a little odd, but nevertheless, like you said, Maurice, they did make the right choice. So that being said, let's move on to the other side of the comparison. All right, guys, it's time to talk about Flash, a.k.a. Wow, a.k.a. Pookie, a.k.a. Father Prime, a.k.a. D. Wade. All right. Thank you, Basketball Reference.
A Basketball Reference comes up with some crazy, because I didn't hear most of them.
Yeah.
Pookie? Never heard of Pookie.
Yeah.
Father Prime?
Yeah, exactly.
Father Prime is a good one.
Yeah.
I feel like that's name should go to LeBron James, because he's still in his prime.
At this point, I would say that too.
Yeah, true.
But before he got those nicknames, he was born Dwyane Tyrone Wade Jr. on January 17th, 1982, Chicago, Illinois. According to a People magazine interview, Dwyane Wade's parents, Jolinda and Dwyane Wade Sr., got divorced when he was an infant. His mother raised him on the south side of Chicago. But check this out. When he was 8, his sister dropped him off at his dad's house to live. Now, this move got him away from the rough streets of Chicago and allowed his dad to introduce D-Wade to basketball. In the same interview, he did state that he missed structure as a kid because of the issues that his parents had with an addiction. He credits his sister for being one of his biggest support systems growing up. Now, D-Wade, like Anthony Edwards, played football as a kid. Who can guess the main two positions that D-Wade played in football? Let's go to Maurice first.
I got to go quarterback.
All right. Give me a defensive position and offense. So quarterback and what else?
Okay, a quarterback and linebacker.
All right, Ben?
Wide receiver and cornerback.
And Lucas?
I'm going to say running back and cornerback.
All right, Ben, this is for you. You nailed it. That's tough to do offense and defense.
Well, I almost said wide receiver, but I didn't want to agree with that. I wanted to be different.
I
wanted to be different.
I just watched a practice, so maybe that's why I was really aligned with what he could have played. I don't know.
So did Maurice.
Their irony is, Ben, is like, you're not the football guru. We got Lucas and Maurice here. 13 rings.
Yeah. I mean, dude, why you got to give us a proper shout out if you're going to bring up our other podcast?
No, it's all good, man. No, the point is D-Wade, like Anthony Edwards, just crazy talented in multiple sports. Now, in a 27 interview for the Cavs on NBA.com, Dwyane Wade stated that he chose basketball over football because he said he was just better at it. One more thing about his childhood, D-Wade said he would play hoops with his dad and his stepbrothers in this backyard, and they would even use a crate, you guys remember the milk crates, with a wooden backboard sometimes.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh, like really old school.
Old school.
I remember playing on those too as a kid.
Peach baskets, man.
Peach baskets, yeah. So according to Dwyane Wade, he had a major growth spurt of 8 inches in his sophomore year into his junior year, where he went from 5 feet 8 inches to 6'4". All right, I have some D-Wade high school stats. You guys want to hear them?
Sure. Yep. I do want to say that that big of a growth spurt, his dad's wallet was hurting for all those new clothes.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I've never heard of a growth spurt that vast.
I had 6 inches in 4 months between 5th and 6th grade.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we went from like being below 5 feet to 5'4".
There you go. And then you just stopped growing after that.
No, I am first off, I am 5'10".
You set yourself up for that.
I did set myself up for it, but no, I'm 5'10". I stopped growing in 10th grade.
Yeah.
I was similar, Lucas. I grew like 4 or 5 inches in 1 year. Because my stepbrothers, I have a wild story. So my stepbrothers hit their growth spurt early. So we're only 9 months apart. I live with my stepbrothers, 9 months apart. There was a period when I was in 7th grade and they were in 8th, where they were like a foot taller than me. Wow. And now we're only about an inch like difference in height. So I was super late. So I think I grew like 4 or 5 inches in 1 year.
Hey, that can happen.
That's so weird. The whole growth spurt. Everyone's different. But anyway, over under the number of points that Dwyane Wade averaged at Oak Lawn High School. Over under 24 points. Maurice, what do you go?
Over.
Lucas? Chicago, the Hoopers that they have there, I'm going to say under.
And Ben?
Under. I think I remember him having a good team. Under.
All right. Maurice, this is for you.
Really?
Yeah, he averaged 27 points a game. His senior year, his numbers were 27, 11, and 4. So,
wow.
D-Wade was not messing around. All right, Lucas, let's go to you first. What stands out to you about D-Wade growing up in his early years?
I mean, the story, if you've ever seen D-Wade's documentary, which there is one, you really get the sense of how bad the addiction in his family was and how fortunate he was to not get caught up in all that. Because I believe not only there was multiple family members that caught up with it, and I think didn't he lose a brother eventually because of it?
I don't recall that in my research. I could
be wrong.
that.
I could be wrong, but he definitely had multiple family members that dealt with that. So
yeah, Maurice, what about you?
Ooh, averaging 27 per game in the high school in Chicago. And Chicago is a really competitive scene when it comes to youth basketball. Mm-hmm. So that's really impressive. And that really stands out to me. Really set himself up for, getting into the right school.
Ben?
Knowing his skill set has always kind of been, the same because he's kind of can play the point at his size. I am surprised he went to Marquette, given those numbers. And Chicago is considered like a top 5, I imagine, top 3 even, high school basketball community. So, I'm curious about the recruiting process and why because it feels like he could have went to you're talking 2002, like a Kentucky or something with those numbers.
Yeah, I would say that too. And Lucas's point about the documentary of D Wade has been very open about his family struggles. And I think that it takes a big man to not only as you grow older, you help your parents, whatever mistakes they made, he could hold a grudge and, have a divide between them and their relationship. But it seems like D Wade's in a better place with his parents. Now, Ben, you mentioned Marquette. Let's get to his Marquette days. So in a Dwyane Wade interview, he admitted his uncertainty playing in college. Here's what he said. I didn't really know. I could take basketball to the next level until my freshman year in college. My freshman year of college, I redshirted that year, and I went into the gym and started practicing with the guys, and I was actually better. And I knew, and I was like, oh, this is college? So Lucas actually mentioned it earlier. D Wade and Anthony Edwards were coached by the same person. And D Wade actually gives a lot of credit to Coach Crean, saying that he was a huge, huge part of his growth and his development, not just as a player, but as a man. Now, D Wade actually made a huge impact on Marquette University's basketball program. Not only was he consensus first team All-American in 2003, he was also Conference Player of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year. Over under, how many points did D Wade average in his time at Marquette? Ben?
Career?
Over under 23 points per game. Yes, his entire time at Marquette.
Oh, under.
Maurice?
Over.
And Lucas?
Under.
All right. Maurice? This is for you. That's your second one of the day. He averaged 19.7, which, according to Marquette University's official website, is actually the second highest all time at the school. So I think, Ben, you're usually pretty good on point with those over-unders with high school.
Who was the first?
I think I know who's going to be the first.
You do? Well, go ahead and tell us because I don't have it with me.
Former Sixers coach and coach of many, Doc Rivers. Is it Doc?
Oh man!
Oh, I haven't got
me. We'll have to check that. All right, almost through. So the last time Marquette had been to the Final Four before Dwyane Wade attended was 1977. He helped break that drought by leading Marquette to the Final Four in 2003. He had a triple-double in the tournament that year when they upset number 1 Kentucky, recording a triple-double in that game. In the game, he was amazing, scoring 29 points, grabbing 11 rebounds, and dishing out 11 assists. In 2003, Dwyane Wade left Marquette after his sophomore year to enter the NBA draft, where he was selected by the Miami Heat.
With the 5th pick in the 2003 NBA draft, the Miami Heat select Dwyane Wade from Marquette University.
Tom, we were there and watched Dwyane Wade single-handedly take Marquette for the first time in 26 years back to the Final Four when they beat Kentucky in the regional final in Minneapolis.
This guy's a flat player. I mean, you look at the top 3, and I think he's right at that next level. There's really not a lot he can't do. They questioned his shooting. I think he shoots fine from mid-range. He's a physical 2-guard. He can get out and defend long arms, and he's not afraid to take it to the hole. He can draw contact and finish. I love this guy. I think he could be a multiple all-star in a couple years.
If only they knew at the time, right?
Yeah, right.
Ben, let's go to you first, man. What do you take away from that Marquette team that Dwyane Wade was on?
I don't watch as much college basketball, but that was like peak. I mean, that was Carmelo won it all.
Big East play, peak Big East.
Yeah, that was kind of the last era, I would say, of like there were really only like, it was always the same top 25 was always kind of always the same top 25. Like you know, jumble it around a bit, but like the big schools were the big schools. And now, you know, you have like a random football school that comes out or a George Mason or, you know what I mean? So that was so rare. And so Marquette obviously made the Final Four, and they weren't a Cinderella team. I believe they were like at least 4 or 5 seed, I want to say.
I think so.
Yeah. And his style of play was like, oh, wow, this guy's going to be really good in the NBA. Now, I think he only went 5th because of the draft he was in, which was, you know, Chris Bosh went ahead of him. 2 of his former teammates, LeBron, went ahead of him, and Carmelo Anthony. And then, of course, Darko went at number 2.
Yeah.
But, yeah, like in any other draft, he goes, you know, 1st or 2nd, I would say.
All right. Maurice, what about you? What stands out?
Ooh, what stands out to me was he carried a pretty weak Marquette team. Marquette, I had to look this up. Marquette's second best player was Steve Novak. Does anybody remember Steve Novak?
I do.
I do. Yeah.
I do, because he had like that 1/2 season in New York where everybody loved him.
The Knicks, I remember.
He was like okay 3-point shooter. That was the second best player in that Marquette team.
Wow.
That was crazy.
For him to take that team to the Final Four is pretty incredible in itself. And then, like Ben said, he's in one of the greatest drafts of all time, and he went 5th.
Yeah,
and it was the right pick. And it's just amazing that a player like Dwyane Wade would have went 1st in pretty much any other draft.
Exactly. Lucas?
Well, you know what's interesting? I was first kind of mad at Ben for stealing my initial point, but it made me think while Maurice was going.
Right.
I don't know if you've ever watched, D-Wade has his own podcast, and he was interviewing Carmelo Anthony. Mm-hmm. And I bring that up because Carmelo was expecting to go to Detroit. Everybody was expecting Carmelo to go to Detroit.
Yeah.
D-Wade let people know during that interview that the Nuggets had him come in for an emergency workout because if Carmelo had gone 2nd, they were going to pick him 3rd.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that. And that was on D-Wade's podcast?
Yeah, D-Wade's podcast with Carmelo Anthony.
Wow. Interesting. Well, what stood out to me is the fact that against Kentucky, number 1, he put up a triple-double.
That was when Rick Pitino was coaching. No.
Yeah, I think no.
No. That wasn't Calipari, no.
I don't know. I don't think it really matters. I don't think it matters. It's Kentucky. They were number 1. And, you know, like you were saying, Maurice, if you're carrying the offensive load because your second best player is Novak, he had to do what he had to do. He had to take over. He had to do it all. And he literally did that. And as a result, that really boosted his stock because, you know, I would presume that teams had him on their radar, but being on that spotlight and executing and performing at that level really catapulted him. And man, that's a good story, Lucas. I didn't know what you said.
Question:
about
did
that,
they lose to Melo's Syracuse team?
I think they did? Ben, do you remember?
I don't remember. That's why I'm asking.
I don't think they played them because I think they were in a different part of the bracket.
Okay,
because they didn't play in the final game. They made the Final Four. So, no, I don't believe they...
That's right.
I would look it up. I don't believe they played each other. Did Carmelo beat was it Kansas?
I forget who Carmelo beat. I think they beat Kansas on the team.
I think it was Kansas. And Kansas had like a loaded... They had a lot of like NBA players on that team.
They did.
Yeah.
Second quarter. Statistics.
Fun game here in the Twin Cities. Look at the moves by Edwards. Swashbuckling and slamming. Sometimes you just got to make it up as you go. Edwards right here. You know what? The shot's not there. Let me just throw it off the rim and finish it myself. Little pump fake here on Tillman. I don't like this. I like this one better.
Edwards can't hit the second. Pacers have a chance. Up ahead, Neesmith. Blocked! Edwards getting up, and good night!
going with the lane. I knew he was going for the layup, and I was just like, man, I'm finna go get this. I ain't never jumped that high in my life.
And only had one shot attempt in that first half. Another turnover for Utah. Edwards gets it back and threw it down and one.
Those are the highlights. Here are the numbers. So Anthony Edwards right now stands at 6'4", 225 pounds. Solid 225, right, guys? So here's my first trivia question. For the first 3 years of his career, what number did Anthony Edwards wear? It is different than the number that he wore last season.
I think I know this. I'll go last.
I'll have Maurice go first.
Was it 2?
Ben.
5.
Uriah.
I know he wore number 1, but he also wore number 5. I just don't remember the order, but I'm sure you'll tell us.
You got to give me something so I can say.
Who, me?
Right. Yes. You got to give me one.
I'll say number 1.
Okay. You are correct.
Okay.
Yeah, he wore number 1 for the first 3 years of his career. This past season, he switched to number 5. I'm not sure the story behind it. I would love to learn it sometime.
Actually, I do know. I'll tell you real quick.
What is the story?
So it has to do with his mother and grandmother.
Oh.
So he wears number 5 to honor his mom and grandma, who both died of cancer on the 5th day of separate months.
Wow.
So it's a tribute to his mom and grandma.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I can dig that. All right. So he's only had 4 seasons in his career, so it's kind of hard to choose the best season. But honestly, the last 2 seasons were eerily similar. 2 seasons ago was slightly more efficient, but we're going to go with the slightly bigger numbers here, and that was this past season. So this past season, he averaged 26 points, 5.5 rebounds, 5 assists, 1.3 steals, a half block, while shooting 46% from the field, essentially 36% from the three-point line, and 83.5% from the foul line. Before I get into the career highs, just take away from that. What do you guys take away from that being his 4th season?
I mean, we mentioned this earlier. He's young even for only playing 1 year because he's still only 22. And so the fact that he's putting up those numbers so young, like, speaks volume. You kind of haven't really seen that, especially in a playoff matter, since, I guess, LeBron, Kobe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so certainly not in a guard. So yeah, that's just wild. And we were seeing it now in the Olympics, just seeing him, like, I would say he's probably been
the second best scorer on that team, on that Olympic team.
Yeah. He's probably been the second or third best player on that team, which is pretty wild to think about. Only 22, so yeah, sky's the limit for him.
What did Anthony Edwards say? He's the number 1 option.
The offense goes through me.
Look, the guy's outside of his rookie year, he's averaged at least 21 points per game. His career average is 22.9.
Lucas, you said from 3 he shot 38%. Is that what you said?
This past season, he shot 35.7. I said 36 to round it up.
Yeah.
Career average from 3 percentage-wise is 35.3. So that's average shooting. I'm going to tell you now that's better than D Wade.
Yeah. Well, that's going to get better. Clearly, that's going to get better.
And he's doing this on a high volume, too. That last season, he shot 6.7 threes per game.
Yeah.
Season before that, he shot 7.3.
Yeah. I just want to comment on his ability to score based on the stats you were just mentioning, Lucas.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at his shooting form, it's so smooth. Like, you see the ball, the rotation of the ball coming off his fingertips is just a beautiful thing, especially with the Olympic basketball, because it's got the contrasting cream and the orange color. And whenever Anthony Edwards shoots, I just am so impressed. And that percentage is only going to get better.
And by the way, just to give you guys perspective, most of these scorers that are scoring 25 plus per game are getting to the foul line a lot. This past season, he had a career high in free throw attempts at 6.4 free throw attempts. That's relatively low for an all-star of his caliber.
Yeah.
So, anyway, who else needed to chime in? Maurice, go ahead, bud.
Yeah, and what's noticeable to me is, and we're going to focus on, we're going to have an episode on Tyrese Maxey later on in this season, but Tyrese Maxey and Anthony Edwards are two players from the same draft, by the way.
Yeah.
Who both developed so rapidly, and their games just went from their rookie season until now. It's like, wow, this is a completely different player. But Anthony Edwards, I can see why people give him the Michael Jordan comparisons, because his game is so smooth and it seems like he plays above the rim. He can beat you in multiple ways. His comparison, Dwyane Wade, could also do that as well.
Yeah, yep, absolutely.
You know, the surprising part for me, well, first off, you made another Tyrese Maxey, so let me get my Tyrese Maxey quote out of the way. I'm wearing a Tyrese Maxey shirt with his name and number on the back of my shirt, so there we go. I'm done with the Tyrese Maxey reference. Now getting back to Anthony Edwards here. I think the most impressive thing is his growth as a playmaker, because his rookie year, he averaged 2.9 assists. Like I said, this past season, he averaged 5.1. I suspect that will only get better. And, you know, we'll see. But let's go shift to the career highs now. Now, remember, he's only played in about 4 seasons here. So, over under 50 points as a career high. I'm going to go to Ben first.
Over.
Uriah.
I feel like you're trying to trick me. I'm going to go under.
Maurice.
In this era, I always go over.
Uriah.
Me?
Your suspicions led you down wrong path.
All right, so be it.
Yeah, it's 51. It's 51. I did try to trick you.
Right.
But I knew that, you know, we'll see. But anyway, so 51 as a career high, 14 rebounds as a career high, 12 assists as a career high, 6 steals, 4 blocks, 8 turnovers. And, of course, it wouldn't be season 2 without me mentioning 6 fouls as his career high.
Oh, goodness. All right.
Okay. Last time that I mentioned it this season, probably.
All right.
We'll see. So, anyway, career highs-wise, what stands out to you guys here? I'll start with Uriah this time.
I guess the 51 points, I'm surprised, but I'm not surprised. But I just want to talk about what Maurice said earlier about how he gets his points. The one thing, when you watch him play, you really got to enjoy it because he does so much. He has so many abilities that he's developed and refined over his 4 years in the league. But if you watch him, most players, when they do the Euro step, they do that to avoid contact. Mm-hmm. If you watch him do a Euro, sometimes he'll do that to get past the first defender, and it's like he wants to absorb contact, and he'll make
dunk
the layup
over the second defender.
Or dunk, right. Yeah. So his ability to do that, his movement, his precise decision-making, he's not perfect. He does turn the ball over sometimes, but he's such a skilled, athletic scorer. It's really remarkable.
You know, you bring up athleticism. You know how there are players that give you almost dunks? He's had the best almost dunks in the NBA since getting into it.
Right.
But he's also had some really highlight dunks, too, in the past, 2-3 seasons. So kudos to him for sure. So that's kind of some cool things there. You know, just looking at the stats here again, look, guys, I mean, this guy's only going to get better. He's 22. We got about 4 more years of him trying to figure out. And, let's be real. He's not on a regular conventional roster in today's NBA. His second leading scorer, let's be honest, is probably on a championship team, a third leading scorer in Karl Anthony Towns, no disrespect.
You said his career high was 12 assists? 12 for 10.
12 assists, yes.
12 assists. From a guy who's really not known for passing, that's really impressive. Like I said, he's had some posterizing dunks throughout his 4 years in the NBA. And I think that's pretty much was his calling card to begin with. But now, as his game expands, he's becoming more of a clutch player. Once again, very similar to Dwyane Wade.
Yeah.
Okay. And Ben, what do you take away?
I think the points are more impressive given his age. And he has been on 2 playoff teams. So, yes. And Towns was kind of the number 1 guy for a while there. So, I think the 51 points is pretty impressive to do it that young.
Well, 51 points was this past season. I will say that.
Yeah.
But during his second season, he did have 49.
Mm-hmm.
That was just high for a second season. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's even more impressive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, each season he had at least like 42 points as a season high. So,
okay,
including his rookie year. So that's impressive. So yeah. Anyway, that's just my takeaway. Let's go ahead and go to the throwback here and go to the original Flash Man.
The body of Anderson Varejao. Welcome to your Kodak moment, Anderson Varejao.
Oh, Wade, what a play! Wow. Oh, wow. I need to see that again because I don't believe what he did.
Wow, watch the extension of the body. How about that?
With 6. Not a good matchup right here for the Heat. Thomas, Wade with a steal, with 2. Wade puts it up for the win. Yeah, baby! He did it! He did it! Dwyane Wade with the steal and the game winner! Do you believe that? One of the great moments, one of the great plays made by one of the game's greatest players. Can you do any more than Dwyane Wade has done? MVP, best in the world, you name the letters. D-Wade, you are incredible.
So those are the highlights. Here are the numbers. Dwyane Wade is also 6'4" and 220 pounds. That's only a 5-pound difference between the two guys. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Dwyane Wade has worn number 3 for his entire career except for one stop. What was the one team and number that he wore that one season? I'll let you know right now, it was not the Miami Heat.
Yeah.
We know that.
Yeah, he's only played for 2 other teams. So.
Chicago and Cleveland, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So I'm going to go Cleveland. I'm going to say the number 13.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm going to say 5, Cleveland.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I'd say Cleveland was that outlier, and I'll go with number 5.
You all get a 50% on this test.
What?
It was Cleveland.
What?
It was Cleveland,
right?
But the number was number 9.
Number 9? Okay. So we get...
Yeah. You get a 50%. Whatever you want to... However you want to do your sound effects, sir.
Okay.
So, anyway, I think they retired his number in Miami already, right?
I want to assume so.
They should if they haven't.
If it hasn't happened yet, it's on its way.
Now, D. Wade has had a lot of good seasons. You know, he won a championship in 2006, but that's not the season I'm going with, guys. I'm going to go with the 2008-2009 season. And he led the league in scoring this year. Okay, I'm going to say that.
He did? He won the scoring title? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he averaged 30.2 points per game. 5 rebounds, 7.5 assists, 2 steals, 1 block, while shooting 49.1% from the field, 31.7% from 3-point line, and 76.5% from the foul line.
Did you say rebounds?
Yes.
Okay. What was the rebounds? I missed it.
It was 5.
5. Okay.
And by the way, Miami were in a little bit of rebuild this year. I remember this because this was the year after they traded Shaq. So, and he played 79 games, which I honestly think that's a career high for him. 79 games.
Yeah.
Because, we know he struggled with injuries. So, anyway, taking away from that one season there, and I'm going to start with Maurice. What are your takeaways from this?
Well, first of all, I had to look this up real quick because I'm asking myself, why wasn't he the MVP that season? Now, that was
I think that was LeBron's first MVP.
It was LeBron and Kobe was 2, and Dwyane Wade was 3.
Oh, okay.
He's still in Ben's thunder, but okay.
Sorry, Ben. Yeah, I did. I'm sorry.
Ben, he's fuming over there.
I'm sorry. Well, my point is, he should have had MVP consideration. I understand the competition. I understand the other great players at that time, but Dwyane Wade, that was incredible. I didn't know he averaged that many points.
Yeah.
That was something I didn't know.
And right, that was the peak popularity for Kobe and LeBron. Remember they had those commercials with the puppets?
Yeah, that was 08? Okay.
I think that was about that time, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Man, you can only imagine a year later when the guy who won the MVP was on his team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, that's fair. And Uriah, what do you take away from those numbers?
Well, first off, you brought up that commercial. I got to go with that. It was like Kobe was trolling LeBron. He's like,
oh yeah,
LeBron, you know how many rings I have? You know how many rings I have, LeBron?
We need to share those commercials on the social media. That would be fun.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna have an episode where we're gonna do top commercials. So
yes,
got to get to that. But just to answer your question, I think to me, they needed every single point from him because Shaq wasn't there. And they definitely were in some type of rebuild. So they needed him all 79 games to score, to pass, to rebound. I think you said 7 assists he averaged that year, Lucas.
7.5 assists, which is
really good for him.
I mean, he did that 2 years, 7.5 assists, 2 years in his career.
To lead the league in scoring and average over 7 assists tells you his skill set and how much they needed him. So I think that stands out to me.
He was doing everything.
You know what? I actually think that's the year before they got Michael Beasley because they were that bad, even with him putting up those numbers. And Ben, what do you think?
I remember that year. It is kind of a forgotten season. The year before the super team of Bosch and D Wade. But yeah, it is kind of wild. I don't know what seed they were. Were they they must have been at least a playoff team.
I can look that up.
I think they were probably like hovering around 40, like 500. I believe.
I'm looking it up right now. You can keep on talking.
They might have made the playoffs, but I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, it
43-9. They were third in the Southwest.
Yeah, it's tough. I remember. Yeah, it reminds me of like. Yeah,
they lost in the first round against the Atlanta Hawks.
Yeah. Kobe and LeBron were in their prime, so yeah, you're just not gonna. They had better teams. Probably put up similar numbers. So yeah, and so it is surprising that he didn't win with those numbers. And just his journey of winning a championship was third season. He won one and single-handedly kind of like won the championship in the finals for them.
They were the fifth seed that year, by the way.
Yeah. And then only had a couple years where he was the guy and then recruited these players. And yeah, it's an interesting journey to think about those years in between before LeBron and Chris Bosh.
It was Beasley's rookie season, and in the playoffs, he only averaged 12 points per game. He was the second leading scorer for the Heat.
In the 2006 season?
No, Beasley in the 2009, 08-09 playoffs.
That's right. They drafted him at 2. Yeah. I didn't realize his highest, he was an MVP finalist the year they weren't really good. I thought it was one of the years he was really good. Well,
yeah, they were really good. They were mid at that point, mid-tier. I will say this, for his career averages, he averaged 22 points per game, almost 5 rebounds per game, and 5.5 assists per game, while shooting 48% from the field and 29.3% from the free throw line. Not a great free throw shooter overall.
Free throw?
Free throw. I will say, and 22 points per game, that's actually about the same that right now, Anthony Edwards' career average is 22.9, where D Wade's is at 22 flat. So, has a chance to surpass him there. Let's go to the career highs now.
Ooh.
And I'm actually really interested because I'm going to see if you guys can get this right. Okay. Over under is D Wade's career high in scoring. Over under Anthony Edwards. I'm going to start with Uriah first.
What was it? Was 51.
Anthony Edwards was 51.
Oh, over under, was it higher than Anthony Edwards? I'm going to say over because D Wade played forever, right? I'll go over.
Maurice,
I know he scored 50, but Edwards was 51. I'm just going to assume over.
Ben?
I'm going to say under. I never remember him really scoring that much.
Okay. Maurice and Uriah, you guys are correct.
Oh, okay.
Who was it?
Yeah, it was 55. 55 is a career high. He only scored above 50 points in one season, and that was the 08-09 season when he got that 55. Otherwise, most other seasons he stayed in the 40s, and then towards the end of the career, you know how it is. Rebounds. Now, this is an interesting one. He had 7 as a career high in offensive rebounds. Think about that. Guard having 7 offensive rebounds. Not named Russell Westbrook or Oscar Robinson, right?
Or Josh Hart.
Yeah, or Josh Hart, or Ben Simmons, whatever. Career high in rebounds is 16.
Okay.
He also has a career high in assists that is also 16.
Mm-hmm.
8 steals, 5 blocks. I honestly thought the blocks were going to be higher than that.
Yeah, I would think that too.
Yeah. So career highs, what do you guys take away from that besides the horrible Ben Simmons reference?
Rebounds. I never thought that Dwyane Wade was like an elite rebounder, but I mean, anybody can, grab a board, a floorboard as we call it. But that many rebounds in a game is pretty impressive. The 55 I didn't know about. I know he scored 50, but I didn't know he scored 55. So, listen, they don't call Dwyane Wade Mr. Miami Heat for nothing. I think that's the nickname. I might not be sure about it. Mr. Miami or something like that.
Well, I mean, he has a county Wade named after him.
Wade County, yeah.
Wade County. So, that's not named after him.
Well,
that was there before.
I don't know if it's named after him, but he claimed it. That's for sure.
Wade County.
We can't go making up regional.
I don't know if that's true, but you know what? You know what? He claimed it once they got there. He claimed it once they got there.
Isn't it Dade?
Of course.
Isn't it Dade County?
It might be Dade County.
I think it's Dade County.
But according to Lucas, it's Wade County.
Yeah.
I mean, hang on. It is Wade County. I'm Googling
but is it named
right
after
now.
him? I don't know if it's named after him.
Miami, wait, so Miami-Dade County.
It's Dade County.
But then ESPN, hang on, unanimously voted by Miami-Dade County Commissioner declared Tuesday that the area will now be known as Wade County.
Oh, so they did change it.
For a week.
For a week.
For a week.
All right,
okay. I mean, that's still something.
Still.
Right,
so technically, I'm not wrong. Technically, I am not wrong.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. It's still impressive, though. And that just goes to show you how important he was to that franchise and the city.
Yeah, agreed.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and then, Ben, what do you take away? There's one more stat that I want to talk about before we move on, but go ahead.
I was pretty surprised with 55.
Yeah.
Just knowing his style of play. And it makes sense in that the 2 years when Shaq left that he was kind of all they had.
So I'm going to be that guy like Maurice was that guy earlier. Always so positive, but 12 turnovers. We've done a lot of comparisons. I can't recall a player ever having that many turnovers.
Oh, I remember their players having more than yeah.
Really? Okay. But my point is, I bring that up because it reminds me of a really popular highlight of Kobe picking up D Wade full court and hounding him every single inch to the point where he turned it over, or he took I think he traveled or something. So, but it was probably because D Wade needed to do so much. So, yeah, D Wade.
If it makes you feel better, he's only had double-digit turnovers in 3 seasons. And most of them were at the beginning of his career, first 3 out of 4 of his seasons. So
I figured as much.
So keep that in mind. But let me get to the stat here that I'm really interested in. So we all agree that we can say that Dwyane Wade was one of the best defensive 2 guards in terms of shot blocking, right? That's what we think of D Wade, right?
Yeah.
In the 08-09 season, he had a total of 106 blocks. To put that in perspective, that was 16th in the NBA.
Wow.
And in career NBA playoffs, he has 175 career blocks during the playoffs. That is 27th all time.
Okay.
I mean, how many shooting guards or guards in general do we think of shot blockers today that aren't obscurely tall shooting guards, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's what makes Dwyane Wade so unique, because I remember watching highlights as a kid of D Wade just climbing the steps and just swatting somebody's shot.
Well, dude, the highlight that we found, D Wade, the blocks, and Anthony Edwards is the same thing. Like, they're both really good defenders, and they can get up, like you said.
Third quarter, accolades.
Anthony Edwards was good, man. Welcome to the show.
What's happening?
Appreciate you, man. First time All-Star, man.
Yeah.
How would you say that first time All-Star experience has been for you?
It's going pretty good, man. I walked in the locker room and I was next to KD and Kyrie, so it's pretty dope.
Right.
When you around town like that, do you feel like you belong?
Yeah, hell yeah.
No doubt?
Yeah,
Sure.
I mean, we did our show and we was like, damn. And it's like number one snub, so to see you finally get it is dope.
Nah,
it's dope.
facts, yeah, for sure.
What's one of the biggest sacrifices you would say that you've made to become an all-star level player? A lot of people see a lot of there's a lot of hype around them, the Popeyes, but they don't really see what you put in. So what would you say is the biggest sacrifice you made to get to this level?
The work. Stop going out. I had to stop going out, stuff like that. Just dedicate myself to the work. I think that was the main thing. Like this summer, like I was working out like 4 times a day throughout the whole summer. So that's what I did this summer. I dedicated myself to the work.
Would you say that's some of the best advice that you can give to incoming rookies coming into the league to make sure they stay focused and they take care of their body?
Yeah, keep the main thing. That's the only thing I can tell them. It's basketball, man. They pay you to play basketball. Make sure you do your job.
All right, that is the really amazing interviewer, Anthony Edwards. Pre-game, post-game, he's just really fun and funny to listen to.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So Anthony Edwards, as we stated before, only played 1 year at University of Georgia. He did do really well his freshman year. He won the SEC Freshman of the Week award 4 times.
Ooh.
He was the SEC Freshman of the Year. And so my question to you guys, my first question is, was he first team all SEC?
I'm going to say yes.
Okay. Uriah?
I mean, if he went number 1, that sounds like it's right up his alley. I'll agree with Maurice.
All right, and Lucas?
I'm going to be different here and say no, because the SEC does have Kentucky. They do have Tennessee's always been a solid basketball. They have good basketball programs there in the SEC, so I'm going to say no.
Okay, Lucas, you are correct.
Hey, let's go.
He tricked us.
And so he was second team, surprisingly. The first team, do you guys want to know who it was?
Sure, I would love to.
So Kyra Lewis, Mason Jones. Those were the two.
He was on the Blue Coats, okay.
Emmanuel Quickly.
Yep.
Yeah, no, that guy.
Keontae Johnson, Samir Dowdy of Auburn.
Never heard of Samir or Dowdy, but I've heard the rest of them.
Skylar Mays, LSU, Reggie Perry, Mississippi State, Nick Richards, Kentucky. He's actually a promising center. And then Breen Tyree of Ole Miss.
Never heard of him.
Yeah, never heard of him.
Exactly. And then Anthony was on there with the second team's actually better. Tyrese Maxey was on that second team. Isaac Okoro was on that second team.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not sure who voted on that, but it sounds like his team didn't win many games. So that's probably they probably had to give him second team.
Yeah.
And he's a freshman. They don't like giving freshmen first teams.
True.
Yeah,
that's true.
Exactly.
So
he was the SEC Rookie of the Year, as I said. So he had a really good, but he kind of, per what we were talking earlier about his kind of physical, his body type, his ability to kind of play both guards, and his athleticism with his vertical, Anthony Edwards was clearly a top 3 pick.
Mm-hmm.
As we stated before, he wasn't that unusual draft because of COVID. So they didn't really, some of the draft we just had, we didn't really know who the number 1 pick was. For a while there, they thought it was going to be James Wiseman. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Yeah, LaMelo Ball, James White. It was a shuffleboard, yeah.
And we kept going back and forth. And then Edwards kind of, I think it depended on the team, and the Timberwolves needed a guard. Yeah. All right, so that's Edwards' college accolades, which aren't bad, all things considered. SEC Rookie of the Year, number 1 pick. All right, so going into his rookie year, was Anthony Edwards the Rookie of the Year? I'm going to start off with you, Uriah.
I feel like I should know this.
No.
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no.
No?
Yeah.
All right, Lucas.
I'm going to say no, too. I think I know who it was.
All right, and Maurice.
No.
All right, you guys are all correct. I think
we
you
covered
figured
the
it
player.
out.
We covered the player. LaMelo Ball, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And but it made you think because I actually was surprised. I was like, oh, he definitely was rookie of the year. We
I
looked at his stats.
almost said yes.
But LaMelo had a really good rookie year, and he's LaMelo is a really good NBA player, and hopefully he stays healthy so we can see that.
I mean, that's the difference between the two of them, right? One's healthy, one's not.
Yeah. Anthony Edwards was the All-NBA rookie first team. LaMelo Ball won Rookie of the Year. Anthony Edwards has been an All-Star two times. Arguably, in the interview we just listened to, he should have been 3. And it's the last years, 2023 and 2024. Has Anthony Edwards ever made an All-NBA team, and what was it? I'm going to go with Maurice first.
I'm going to say yes, and I'm going to say this past season.
Okay. What team was it, do you think? First, second, or third?
Third.
Okay. Lucas?
I know it was this past season, and I'm going to guess second here. Or at least he would be my second team All-NBA.
Uriah?
Hell yeah. That interview is so classic. Thank you, Maurice, for finding it. 'Cause I just love Anthony Edwards. Yeah, I think he did, and I'm going to go second team.
All right. So Uriah and Lucas, you guys are the winners.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Second team.
Yeah,
What'd you say, Maurice? Maurice said third?
I said third.
Okay.
It makes sense because they were tied for the 1 seed. I believe that his team won 57 wins.
Didn't Towns get third team too?
No, Towns was injured. This was the year that that new rule.
That's right.
No, there's like a ton of really good players that didn't make it because of that new
65 games.
65 game limit. Yeah, Towns didn't make it. And then Gobert might have been third team, Lucas, because Towns and Embiid were out. So I think Gobert made an All-NBA.
Yeah,
team.
that's right, because he was Defensive Player of the Year too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Anthony Edwards has only played, as Uriah said, he was a McDonald's All-American. He has only played 4 seasons. He is an Olympian. We can add that. Hopefully, actually, I'm not going to jinx it. I'm not going to say that. That
the
is
Olympics are going on right now. We are not
recording.
Well, Anthony Edwards is an Olympian.
Right, he's an Olympian.
All right, so that is an accolade he has, and he has been really good in the Olympics.
He's been great.
He's really impressed. He's the one young guy on the team, him and Halliburton, although he's a couple years young. Halliburton's actually 24.
Yeah, he didn't get drafted until like his sophomore year, I want to say.
And coincidentally, Dwyane Wade is calling the games too.
Yeah, it was wild. Ryan and I were texting that today. We were like going through this, and it's wild because Dwyane Wade was giving Anthony Edwards a lot of props. And Dwyane Wade's good at broadcasting. He just has a way of he's got like some Kenny the Jet Smith to him. Where he can go between the younger players and like the vets in a way very quickly that I like about him. So
I can see that.
All right, so that's Anthony Edwards' college and NBA career. I'm going to ask one more question. How many All-NBA, we talked about his defensive teams does Anthony Edwards have?
Ooh.
Yeah, and watching the Olympics, I could definitely see him getting some consideration for a defensive player of the year because he's really good defensively.
Yeah.
But how many All-NBA teams defensively does he have?
All defense?
I'm going to say 1.
Okay.
Yeah, 1 as well.
That sounds about right to me. I'll say 1.
He's actually not been on any.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, he's not been on any.
Wow.
That's going to change.
That's going to change.
And we could segue, before we answer, let's segue into what stands out because that's his stats. Again, he's only 22 years old. So what stands out to you? I'm going to start with Luke.
Well, you said that he might have deserved 3 numbers-wise, but team-wise, his second year, the Timberwolves were still trying to figure things out. So I wouldn't have given him an all-star in his second season. He averaged, 22 points per game, which is a little considering how stacked the West was at the guard position just a few years ago with Dame, Steph, all of them, Devin Booker. I'm not going to give that to him, no.
All right. Uriah, what stands out to you?
I would say the fact that he didn't make at least all defensive second team, because when you see him playing in the Olympics, he'll pick up a guy full court or half court, and he just moves his feet and he can recover really well. So I think sometimes players like him, they sometimes let his opponent get a little bit past him and maybe ride his hip a little bit and then come in at the last second and swat it against the backboard. But yeah, I think that he did not get an all defensive team.
All right. And Maurice, what stands out?
Like I mentioned, he's going to get consideration for not only a defensive team, but maybe a defensive player of the year, which is rare for a non-big man. But in this day and age, you need perimeter wing defenders, and I think he's going to be an elite defender. And overall, I think his skills, there's still room for growth there. I think he can take another step, another leap forward with his game. And he can I can easily see him averaging 30 points per game.
Oh, yeah.
It's most likely going to happen at some point.
Oh, yeah.
I think the three-point shooting is probably what we're going to see more growth in, I think, in terms of his offensive. Or, you know what I would love to see him get? Because Dwyane Wade kind of picked this up the same time LeBron James came into town, a post-game. He doesn't really have a post-game. Could you imagine him posting up other guards? He would destroy them.
Yeah.
You don't, and the defensive players, like defensive player of the year candidates that you get at the guard position, usually don't have a lot of offensive skill.
Yeah.
He would be one of the ones that could get it and have like elite offensive skill too.
Yeah, and he uses glass really good, Lucas. If you see him, he'll have an elbow jumper and he'll go backboard like Tim Duncan, and he's pretty good at those shots.
He's on a good defensive team with other good defenders. So like Gobert obviously won Defensive Player of the Year, and then McDaniels was an All-NBA Defensive Player this year. So he may be getting overshadowed a bit. That does happen sometimes when you have so many good defenders on your team. All right, that's it for Anthony Edwards. Not much to report. He's 22. So we're going to go on to the Flash, Dwyane Wade.
Started this off thanking you, and I want to end it the same way. I owe you a debt of gratitude that I'll never be able to repay. When I would cry and say I can't, you made me go harder. You pushed me to limits that I didn't know were inside of me. The hard work I put in was because I didn't want to let you down. Those countless hours in the backyard when we would compete against each other like strangers, it built me to last. Those days that turned into late nights of me working on my left hand so it was just as good as my right, it made me an unstoppable force. That time you got kicked out of the game as my coach and snuck back in the side door and coached me from the stands just to get kicked out again, it showed me that there was no limitations on how you would show up for me. It's the exact same way I try to show up for my kids.
That's Dwyane Wade talking about his father. Initially, I thought that was going to be him talking about LeBron, because it started off with like, hey, you made me better. And I'm thinking, I was like, is he talking about LeBron?
Yeah, but he's talking about crying. I can't see D-Wade crying and LeBron consoling.
No, I wasn't
you didn't
sure.
Hear that part.
I didn't hear that part. I heard the like playing, making him a better player. All right, so in our comparisons, one player is retired. Sometimes we'll compare players that don't have a huge resume because they're younger. Anthony Edwards has only played 4 years, so Dwyane Wade's list is pretty long. He is a 3-time NBA champion. We've kind of gone through this. If you're newer to basketball, you probably know he was on one of the first iterations of a super team. And then Dwyane Wade in 2006 kind of made a name for himself when he kind of single-handedly beat the Dallas Mavericks and won a championship in turn. And the numbers of those finals are unbelievable.
Yeah.
To this day, they consider it, when they do comparisons, ESPN, it's always in the top 5, top 10 of all-time finals performances.
As it should be.
Like
do you guys have it? Yeah. Do you guys have it? It's wild numbers.
I'll pull it up real quick. I will say this: Dallas did a really good job of neutralizing Shaq with Eric Dampier, and who was the backup then? because they were.
They had Josh Howard then, right?
Yeah, they had Josh Howard, Devin Harris.
Yeah, they had good defenders.
Alonzo Mourning?
Yes.
Wait, we're still
No. I'm talking about the backup for Dallas.
We're talking about who defended Shaq in 06.
Oh, okay. Okay. I don't remember.
But I do remember that Dwyane Wade pretty much had to carry Shaq. This is Shaq at the end of his prime.
Yeah.
He kind of had that, like, I think the most recent we've seen a player that dominant peak at the right time was Giannis in 2021.
Yeah.
All right.
So hang on. Dwyane Wade averaged 34 points, 7.8 rebounds, and 3.6 assists and 2.7 steals during that finals series.
Wow. He went nuclear on Dallas.
46.8% from the field. Shaq, in return, only averaged 13.7 points per game in that final.
Yeah,
and had 10 rebounds per game. Shaq was defended by Eric Dampier and Desaga Diop, and maybe Daryl Armstrong, DJ Dimbenga. I think that was his name.
Somewhere in Los Angeles, Kobe was smiling. Knowing that Shaq was averaging 13.
I do remember them using Shaq more as a decoy. Like,
Antoine Walker was averaging more points in that final series than Shaq.
All right, so how many All-Stars has Dwyane Wade made? I'm going to start off with Uriah.
Wait, Lucas, you know this?
I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
I know that he missed the last couple of years.
I'm going to take a guess and say 9.
Lucas.
Okay, answer me this. How many seasons did he play?
So he was drafted in 03, and he didn't retire till
2019, right?
Yeah. So he played 15 seasons.
15 seasons. 16 seasons. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to take out 2 seasons for injury. He did not play in the All-Star when he was with Chicago or Cleveland. He did get one more All-Star nod in his last season. So take out 4 seasons. I'm going to say 12.
And Maurice.
So he wasn't an All-Star his rookie season, was he?
He was not.
No, I doubt it.
No one was from that class.
Oh, rephrase. Hang on. Knowing that, I will say 11, not 12.
All right.
I'm going to say 12.
Okay.
I'll say 12.
Maurice, you are the closest. It's actually 13.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know he missed some seasons or most of some seasons with injuries.
He missed 2017 and 2018 and his rookie year. So he did miss 3 seasons.
Okay.
But he made it 12 straight. 2005, 2016.
Wow.
Well, I do know that he was an All-Star game his last season.
Yeah, that was an honorary one with him and Dirk. Yeah. Which I kind of like because him and Dirk have always been connected.
Yeah.
I like how that kind of worked out.
Yeah,
they won and lost to each other.
Yeah.
They so I guess he did get an All-Star nod in Chicago. He must have.
He must have. That's weird because he only averaged like 19 points a game that season.
Yeah, I think the fan vote was a bigger deal. He must have started. All right, so in 2010, he was the NBA All-Star Game MVP. I'm going to go right into this. You can divide it up. How many times was he an All-NBA player total? I'm going to go to Uriah. How many times?
So it doesn't matter first, second, third, just period.
Just all, yeah.
God, it's got to reflect his All-Star appearances. I'll just go with 12. I'll go 12.
Well, I don't think he made All-NBA the last season. That was an honorary, so I'm going to go 12.
All right, and Lucas.
I think he didn't make All-NBA a few seasons because he might have made the All-Star, but then he got injured after All-Star, so I'm gonna say 9.
That's a good one. Lucas, you're very close. It was 8.
Oh, okay.
It was 8.
But he was still wrong, right?
Oh, my gosh.
Everyone was wrong. Everyone was wrong. He was All-NBA 2 times. In 2009, 2010, he was first team. Third team, 2005, 2006, and 2011. Third team, 2007, 2012, and 2013. So it looks like he was he made the All-NBA team 8 years in a row, which is pretty impressive.
So that long of a stretch of dominance.
Yeah, so he was an All-NBA guard. Think about this era from the mid 2000s to the mid 2010s. He was an All-NBA guard.
Iverson and Kobe itself was hard to break through those two.
Yeah. In 2005, 2006, because Iverson and Kobe were MVP, and T-Mac, they were MVP finalists in that era. So the fact that he got second team then.
Yeah.
And then you have to think like, the 2010s, early 2010s, you had Westbrook, you had
Derek White. Or Derek Rose. Derek White. Sorry, we were talking about him. Sorry.
Wrong era.
Steve Nash.
Steve
Nash. Yeah. Russell Westbrook.
Stephon Marbury?
James
or no?
Harden.
Westbrook they made the finals and he was. So Lillard was coming on.
No, Dame wasn't really ready for
Dame in 2013 would have been. No, it was his first or second year.
That's when Steph was coming along too.
I think. No, not Dame.
And then he was a 3-time All-NBA defensive guard, which we rarely see. It's interesting when we do guard comparisons. Whenever I have to do this, I rarely see All-NBA and All-NBA defense with the guards for some reason. I think it has to do with what we were saying. There's only 2 teams.
Right.
But you just don't see it that much.
Yeah. Well, I said, you don't really see guards that can both defend and score at an elite level. Kobe was one of them. Jimmy Butler, MJ, Dwyane Wade. There isn't very many that can do both.
And Anthony Edwards is on his way to that level.
Anthony Edwards definitely on his way.
Gary Payton, we haven't done his comp. Did we do Gary yet?
No,
but we have a player for his comp.
Yeah, we haven't done Gary's comp yet, but he's obviously going to be on there. All right, and
I have a question, Ben. Was he ever top 5 for Defensive Player of the Year voting?
No, because he would have been All-NBA first team. I can look that up really quick because it would have been in. Actually, no, it is possible. You're right because
I'm curious.
Let's see. Let's find that out. By
the way, Dwyane Wade got Finals MVP in that 2006 Finals.
Oh yeah,
he did. Yeah, that. I was saving that.
Oh, sorry, man.
So. No, don't worry about it.
We're stealing all of Ben's thunder here. Let's see.
Well,
here.
I got one for you. Get the guard.
Okay.
Wait, I got a wild stat. So a guard that got it over Dwyane Wade. This is a wild one for the guard position. Former Sixer, drafted in '98. Who is that?
Allen Iverson.
No.
Iverson.
First team in the 2005 when D Wade. Former Sixer. He is best friends with Jason Tatum's dad,
Jerry Stackhouse.
Oh, Larry Hughes.
Larry Hughes was All-NBA first team defense.
Oh, wow.
First team.
Yeah.
So
Larry Hughes. Oh my God.
Did you find it?
I found it. So he got voted. He finished 3rd in Defensive Player of the Year the same year that he finished 3rd in MVP in 08-09.
Yeah. Okay.
That's wild.
He was defense. He was also 21st in Defensive Player of the Year back in 04-05, and top 20 finishes in a lot of years.
That's pretty rare. You rarely see that. I think we haven't seen that since Giannis. That kind of dominance on both ends. I mean, Kawhi.
Kawhi was never a regular season guy. He was always a playoffs type guy.
No, but there was a stretch in the end of
the 17 season?
Yeah, his last few years with San Antonio, Kawhi was an MVP finalist, and he was was he defensive player of the year finalist?
He won one at one point.
All right,
that's really impressive to finish top.
We're deviating.
Right.
We're talking about Kawhi now. Let's get back on
Dwyane. So that's really impressive. He's the NBA's 75th anniversary team. Did Dwyane Wade win Rookie of the Year?
Oh my God!
I had to ask.
No, some guy named LeBron James.
Some random
guy named LeBron James.
He did not win.
LeBron James,
but he was on the All-NBA rookie first team. Yeah, probably one of the best rookie first teams of all time.
I'm actually curious who was on there.
I think it's Bosh, him,
LeBron.
I don't know who
Melo.
I don't know who the 5th guy is though.
Was it Chris Kaman?
It wasn't Darko.
It wasn't Darko.
Was it Chris Kaman?
It's probably like a random, like undrafted dude. I've no idea. I'd look it up, but his number 3 was retired, and he is a 2-time Olympian, gold medalist in 08 and bronze medalist in 04. What stands out to you? I'm going to start with Maurice.
Well, what stands out to me was for a person who it was a struggle to win at Marquette and early on, Dwyane Wade will always be remembered as a winner. I think we all can agree on that. He was a winner. Not only was he a winner, but even with other talent around him, from Shaq to LeBron to Bosh, Dwyane Wade still stood out. He didn't have to take a back seat. That's how good he was.
Right.
He never really had to take a back seat, even with LeBron. LeBron may have been a better overall player, or he may have averaged more points, but Dwyane Wade was still that dude.
Lucas, what stands out to you?
So, first off, to answer your question, who was the 5th person? It was Kirk Heinrich on the all-rookie first team.
Okay.
Wow.
Now, Dwyane Wade had a teammate that made all-rookie second team. Do you guys know who that was?
Udonis Haslem.
Yes.
Wow, UD.
Udonis, OG.
Yeah. Anyway, what stands out to me, and I guess it goes back to the, ranking 3rd in both MVP and Defensive Player of the Year that year. He really carried that Miami Heat team by himself that year. So kudos to him.
He did.
Yeah. I know we don't debate, but I do want to mention that, Maurice, your point about him being the man next to LeBron. I do recall the first year they were together, there was some confusion, a little ambiguity.
Was deferring to him.
Right. And then Wade took a step back to allow
Wade
LeBron
was like, this is your team, you need to be the best player.
Right. So I just want to put that out there. But as far as what stands out to me, I think the point that was made about him being a winner, I think that is very apparent. And if you think about the guy that we're comparing him to, Anthony Edwards, no matter who was on their team, because Anthony Edwards is playing with some really great players himself, he, like Dwyane Wade, whenever they had their ball in the hands, they were willing to take the shot. They were willing to take over the game when it needed to be taken over. And I think that's part of Dwyane Wade's makeup. That's what makes him so great. That's what got him so many all-star appearances. That's what got him to be a top 75 player of all time. The fact that he made that, Ben, and you mentioned that, I forgot that. Like, he was there with Jordan and Bird and all those guys last year. So I think him being a winner, sorry to be, tagging on with you, Maurice, but I think him being a winner is just the overarching theme of his career.
All right. I'm going to pass it on to Maurice to talk about the teammates of Anthony Edwards and Dwyane Wade.
Let's do it.
Hell yeah.
Fourth quarter, teammates.
What makes him so special?
Just like what you just saw, it brings a smile to all of our faces. I think when he's playing the game he's playing right now, I think he's one of the top players in the NBA, and then you mix that in with the charisma and the personality he has, he's a huge boost for our locker room as well. So Anthony Edwards is special. I keep saying, and he hates when I say it, but he's going to be the face of the NBA sooner than later. So we're just super honored that we all get to play with him. We all get to help him in this process of maturing and becoming the face, and I think that the future is very, very bright for him.
All right, so that was Karl Anthony Towns talking about his teammate Anthony Edwards, picked with the number 1 pick overall in the 2020 NBA draft. Only 4 years to work with here. So let me throw this question out here. Start the teammate section for this season off right. Who won the most games with Anthony Edwards? Now, it's only one team, so it should be easy to guess this one.
Like, I feel like you're trying to trick me here.
No, I'm not tricking.
The whole part of this is that we try to trick each other.
No, I'm never.
He's dragging it out for a reason, saying all these extra words.
See, I feel like Towns missed a lot of games, so I'm not going to say Towns. I'm going to go with the guy that also won an award this year. I'm going to say Naz Reid, because I believe they got drafted the same year. Actually, Naz Reid was undrafted free agent. He is his Udonis Haslem.
Good nugget there. Ben?
So I'm going to say Naz Reid.
Okay.
I want to say Cat, but I know Cat has had some injury issues, so I think that would affect the total games. I'm going to say a guy that was drafted later in his draft and say McDaniels.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, because he was also drafted in the same draft.
Yeah, him and Naz Reid technically were, yeah.
Those seem like good picks. I know originally I was like, oh, man, it's got to be Mike Conley, but he didn't get there until maybe 2 years into Anthony Edwards' career. I think it's reverse psychology, Lucas, and I don't think it's a trick question, so I'm going to go with Cat.
Okay, so which one of us was right? Because it has to be one of those three.
All right, so the winner is Lucas.
Yes! Let's go! Don't give me that! Don't be salty. Thank you. I deserve that one.
It actually is Naz Reid. They played all seasons together, so all 4 seasons together. 154 wins.
There
and
we go.
Jaden McDaniels is number 2 with 150.
Okay.
Let's start with his rookie season, which would be the 2020-2021 season. Some of his teammates were Malik Beasley, Jarrett Culver. Actually, this is a good teammate. This is a nugget right here. Hancho Herman Gomez.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all know who that is, right?
Oh, he's Bo whatever.
In the movie Hustle.
Yep.
Maybe he helped him. Maybe he helped him a little nepotism.
Yeah,
that role.
Nepotism. That does not work. They're not brothers. Now, if Willie Hernan Gomez was in the movie, then yes, that would have worked.
I'm confused.
No,
I'm very
nepotism.
confused right now. I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Nepotism can extend to like a friend or a
nepotism is when
colleague?
your family get into it. I don't think it's a friend thing.
Well, when you're teammates and you're traveling on the road so much, technically you're brothers.
Oh, boo!
Yeah, and
Boo!
and he probably gave the director who casting, then we know more about that.
Well, that's how they had good chemistry. They had good chemistry because they practiced against each other. They knew each other, so it seemed real.
There you go.
There you go.
Josh Okogie, Naz Reid, Ricky Rubio was the point guard before Mike Conley, and Ricky Rubio had a really good.
He was
career.
solid. Yeah,
good career.
D'Angelo Russell was there, Cat and Jarrett Vanderbilt.
Okay.
So a nice young team.
Yeah,
I will say that.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you guys this question. Which teammate helped Anthony Edwards develop into the star he is today? Uriah?
Well, Ricky Rubio, much-traveled NBA player, been around for quite some time. I think drafted the same draft as Steph Curry, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, he was.
Not the best scorer, but really great court vision, really good teammate from what I've read and heard over the years. So I would say
defensive player.
Yeah, I would say Maurice. I would go with Ricky Rubio as someone who was instrumental in the development of Anthony Edwards.
I'm gonna go with Cat. I just think he is the best shooting big. Like he does. I get that he gets compared to other bigs that are so dominant MVPs in the league right now. But in another era, like remember when DeAndre Jordan was getting first team All NBA, like Cat would be the guy.
Yeah.
And so I think just Anthony coming into that, being his team, a guy that's already All NBA, can give you 60 points. I think that they've helped each other a lot. So I think I'm going to say Cat.
If we were going outside the rookie season, I would say somebody else. But if we're going based off the rookie season, I will also say Cat. But not for the reasons that Ben said, is that Cat was also a former first overall pick. Cat knows the pressures of being that in the city of Minnesota. So I'm going to say that.
Dude, that was a great grab, Lucas.
Shout out to the number one picks of the Timberwolves get. They've had a lot in the last 8 or 9 years.
And they traded for one, too. Remember one of the bigger busts of the 2010s?
Yeah, Andrew Wiggins.
No.
Yeah. Anthony Bennett. Dude, I forgot
Bennett.
about him.
Yeah, Anthony Bennett. He was part of the Kevin Love trade.
Wow.
And then Wiggins,
Wow.
Yeah, it's tough. That's real tough.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. So we're going to move on. Like I said, only 4 years. So we're going to move on to 23-24 this past season. And let's go through some names. Nickeil Alexander-Walker.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle Anderson.
Mm-hmm.
Rudy Gobert.
Jaden
McDaniels again. Mike Conley. Monte Morris. Nas Reed, Karl Anthony Towns, and T.J. Warren. So some familiar names there. Not much difference except for Mike Conley. Kyle Anderson's a nice rotation piece. And Neil Alexander Walker is also a nice young player as well. So my next question for you guys is, who complimented Anthony Edwards' game so far in his career? Who's complimented Anthony Edwards' game the most?
I'll go first. I'm good. Same answer as before. It's Karl Anthony Towns, having a big man that can stretch the floor, open up the middle of the floor for you. I'm gonna say Karl Anthony Towns. He's a nice complementary big. And going back to what Ben said about Towns being one of the best bigs, he was one of the best bigs in the 20-teens. But then, he just couldn't get Minnesota over the top like Jokic and Joel did in their respective cities. So, he kind of dropped a little bit, and now he's not even really the starting center anymore. So, is he a big? Is he not? Who knows? But no. Cat is a perfect complement. Big man that can stretch the floor, can play make a little bit, can throw the outlet pass. I think that works.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to say Cat, but they really started winning and this guy gets a lot of flack because in certain series although he didn't get played off the floor and they made the conference finals, so I gotta say Gobert.
I mean, look, I get it. Defensively, you are absolutely right, but I still don't like it.
I think the thing about Gobert that people forget about is his durability.
Yeah,
and I mean, trust me, if you guys don't know already, we're Sixers fans. Good bigs kind of destroy him individually, but as a team and his kind of motor and his ability to play at a high IQ defensively, and he makes his teammates better defensively, and he rebounds. I just think that the guy consistently is on 50-plus win teams. You have to see that for what it is. So I'm going to say Rudy Gobert.
And to Ben's point, they were third in the West this past season with 56 wins.
Yeah,
it's pretty
they made
impressive.
the playoffs last year too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to say Gobert.
You all right?
So two quick things before I say my person. So, Cat, that's a good grab, Lucas. I love the clip that we played in your introductory part, Maurice, where Cat was giving praise to Anthony Edwards. I think it takes a really mature, someone who's comfortable in their role on the team, where he was a former number one pick. He was the man for so many years. And for him to speak so highly of Ant is to say that he's going to be the face of the NBA. That's a pretty big statement to say as a teammate. And who did you say, Ben? You said Rudy Gobert? So
yeah, I said Gobert.
Yeah, so when we compared Rudy Gobert to Dikembe Mutombo a couple months ago, we had a clip of Anthony Edwards being excited that they had a guy that could really lock down the center of the lane in Rudy Gobert. So he welcomed him with open arms. Yeah, he got played off the floor against, the team that knocked him out, but I mean, it's the best team in the West, right? Technically. But I'm going to stick with point guards, and I'm going to say Mike Conley, because if Mike Conley was a point guard like a Westbrook or Derrick Rose, score first type of point guards, Anthony Edwards would get lost in the shuffle there. But Mike Conley is a pro's pro, complete, ultimate veteran. I think he's won Sportsman Player of the Year multiple times or something up there where he's a great teammate. So I'm going to say, I would say Mike Conley. That's my pick.
I don't know if it was on the pod, but we were mentioning guys over 35.
Right.
Another guy.
He's definitely over 35.
Oh, yeah. Greg Oden's former teammate.
Yeah.
There's always value in veteran leadership.
They've done a good job of getting Anthony Edwards veterans around him. Yeah. So, kudos to them. And then what they did in this draft, trading up for the 8th, they're doing a good job of keeping the young core with the vets. So, shout out to them.
Look, the GM there, he's president of basketball operations. Tim Conley, he's built 2 NBA champions, one in Denver. Now that franchise is starting to lose their championship pedigree with all the players leaving. And now in Minnesota, he's one of the better GMs of the 2020s, easily.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, like I said, only 4 seasons for Anthony Edwards. So, with that, we can move on to Dwyane Wade.
D-Wade giving it to Baron Davis. And Baron Davis is my guy.
Right.
But this D-Wade cat down in Miami, he killing. But he ain't got nobody with him.
Right.
So now I'm saying, okay, If y'all gonna move me, that's where I'm going. Y'all just ain't gonna send me where I want to go. I'm going here. They gave him a call and said, hey, we want to move Shaq, and he wants to come down there. So they did the deal, and I was down there. But I saw in him a mixture of Penny and Kobe and D-Wade. So when I got down here, first conversation we had, all that stuff you heard about that, forget it. This your team. You the man.
All right, so that was Shaq talking about his teammate Dwyane Wade, drafted 5th overall in the 2003 NBA draft. Let me start off with the same question. Who won the most games with Dwyane Wade as a teammate? This one might be a little bit tougher. Might not be.
No, it's easy.
That's the
Udonis
easiest
Haslem.
one. Yeah, it's Udonis Haslem.
You guys sure?
Yeah, 1,000%.
Yeah, you're not tricking us on this one.
All right, yeah, it's UD. It's UD.
It has to be.
They played 15 seasons together. No one has played more than 8 seasons with Dwyane Wade. Well, let me ask you this. Who's the second most?
Ooh.
Who won the second most games? Actually, it's a lot, too. Who won the second most games with Dwyane Wade?
Mario Chalmers.
Ben.
Chris Bosh?
Is that your final answer, Lucas?
I'm going to say yes.
Ben?
Ooh, this is tough. I'm going to say Norris Cole.
Oh, no. That's a name out of nowhere.
All right.
No.
Sorry.
Actually, it's you're right. I got it right. It's Mario Chalmers.
What?
Really?
Yeah.
Rio? And I did not cheat. I don't know how I know.
Yeah,
that.
because he was on. Was he on both iterations of their championships?
No, he got drafted the same year that Beasley got drafted.
08-09, yeah.
Yeah, he got drafted the same year, so he started from there, and he.
Yeah, so he was on those 2 championships. Yeah.
So UD won 507 games with Dwyane Wade.
Oof.
That's a lot of wins.
My God.
And Mario Chalmers won 342 games.
Wow. Was Chris Bosh third?
Yes, he was. He was 263.
Okay. I feel better now.
All right. So let's start off with his rookie season, 03-04. And then I'm going to go into the championship team. 03-04, some of the players were Rafer Alston.
Wow.
Yeah, Skip to my Lou, right?
Skip to my Lou.
Karan Butler.
Yeah, let's go.
There's some names right here. Rasul Butler.
I remember him.
Bimbo Coles.
LaSalle Explorer. Rasul
Bimbo
Butler.
Coles?
Yeah.
R.I.P. Rasul Butler.
Yes.
Yeah, R.I.P.
UD.
Mm-hmm.
Eddie Jones.
Oh.
Kind of remember that.
Temple. Lamar Odom.
Yep.
John Wallace. Samaki Walker.
I can't remember him.
Brian Grant and Tyrone Hill. So that was
Tyrone Hill?
Yeah.
Who was on the Miami Heat?
03-04.
Wow.
He really crossed some eras.
Yeah.
There. Brian Grant. Wow.
Yeah, that was some names.
Yeah.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah. So let me go right to before I ask a question, let me go to the NBA championship team, which was 05-06. Derek Anderson. Shannon Anderson. I'm going to say his name every time because he's like he could be Mr. Miami Heat too. Udonis Haslem.
Yep.
Shaquille O'Neal.
Okay.
Alonzo Mourning.
Okay.
Right.
Gary Payton.
Yep.
Antoine Walker.
Yep.
And a former person we've highlighted on here, Jason Williams.
White chocolate,
yeah.
There's more players on there. Who was the third string center? It was a white guy. What was his name?
White chocolate was on the...
Michael Doliak. Yeah, Shaq said that Michael Doliak always whooped him in practice.
He did.
Man, he's really some all-time players.
Yeah.
All right, so let me ask you guys this. Which teammate helped Dwyane Wade develop into the star he is today? I'm going to start with you.
Really a teammate?
I go first?
Yeah, you go first.
I'm just going to go with Shaq just because when Shaq is a teammate, his presence alone commands respect. I can imagine some players, young players, being maybe a little intimidated. Not to say that Dwyane Wade was, but I think that when Shaq had the conversation with him saying, hey, guy, this is your team, that probably sent the right message that Dwyane Wade was able to flourish. Because if Shaq would have went in there and said, look, we got to share the ball, this is our team, then that could have kind of stifled the growth and maybe even caused them not to win a championship. But because Shaq was able to defer and say, like, I'm losing a step, but this is your team, he just went off in that series and he averaged, 34 points a game. So I'm going to say Shaq was instrumental in his growth.
And that was a good point because you mentioned it earlier. When LeBron got there, Dwyane Wade deferred to LeBron.
Yeah.
So that was a little mentorship right there from Shaq, and he passed it along to LeBron. Ben?
I'm actually going to go with, and I think this is the season, the famous Alonzo Mourning meme where he's on the bench.
Yes. That is one of my favorite.
I think it's that year.
Contemplating things.
So Alonzo, as we know, was a monster in the 90s.
Yeah.
Arguably, he's the best defensive center of that era, him and Mutombo. And then in the late 90s. So I'm going to say Alonzo just because, like, he's heat culture. Like, I hate that term, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I think I hate it because, like, they've won so many championships. So I'm, like, weirdly jealous of it. But what I mean is like he had so much disappointment. I think they were people forget they were a 60+ win team that lost to the 8th seed Knicks team. So they were a team that could have challenged the Bulls with talent. They had Tim Hardaway,
right?
PJ Brown, obviously Alonzo Mourning. So they were a stacked team with Pat Riley. So the fact that he probably instilled just that veteran leadership, I think it was Alonzo Mourning in that 06 iteration of the Heat.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Lucas?
I'm actually going to go with the real Mr. Heat culture himself, and that's Udonis Haslem.
Okay.
They came in the league at the same time, but Udonis was like that guy that was wise beyond his years and always like he's the one guy that you knew that Dwyane Wade would listen to. That was always on the team, that always demanded that respect.
Right.
So I'm gonna say UD because UD came up from nothing, kind of similar to what Dwyane Wade did in Chicago.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say UD.
Okay.
Also, when I was a kid, I loved UD's cornrows, so there was that too.
Yeah. There's one thing about Udonis Haslem: nobody messed with him.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody got into a tussle with UD for sure,
except Jimmy Butler.
Well, Jimmy Butler's one guy that's crazy enough to do it.
Yeah. All right, so let's move on. You talked about earlier super team or the first of this generation's big three. Let's talk about the 2011-2012 Miami Heat went on to win a championship. They beat the Oklahoma City Thunder in the NBA Finals. So let's bring up some names here. Shane Battier, Mario Chalmers, Norris Cole, Chris Bosh, Eddie Curry, once again, UD.
Eddie Curry, I forgot that he was on that team.
Yeah, me too.
Get this one, Juwan Howard.
I remember him being on the team, yep.
Yeah. LeBron James, James Jones, Mike Miller, D. Wade, of course, and Ronnie Turioff. Excuse me.
Yeah, he's French. You got it. Was Greg Oden on that team, or was he on a different one? Because I remember Greg Oden coming on that team for a hot second.
Greg Oden was not on that team that won the first championship.
Okay.
He was not.
Okay.
So let me ask you guys this question. Who was the perfect role player to play with Dwyane Wade?
Oh.
I'm going to start with Ben.
Shane Battier.
Really?
I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I think.
I can see that. Yeah, I can see that, Ben.
Because you said role player.
Yeah.
So I don't consider, like, I think Chalmers was even, like, kind of a starter at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
he was the fourth starter.
Yeah, so I wouldn't consider Chalmers. I mean, technically he had a role with the big three. Yeah, I'm going to say Battier just because he was like a 3-and-D guy. You kind of need that glue defensive guy in your 8-man playoff rotation.
Okay. Because
are you talking about for that team or for his career?
For his career.
Then Udonis Haslem. Udonis Haslem was the ultimate role player in Miami for so many years. It's UD.
Now, from a production standpoint, would you consider him a good role player?
He was a good role player until after the Heatles ran their course, and then he became more of that veteran on the bench. He was the backup or starting center for half that time.
Yeah, didn't he average like a double-double?
He did that during like that late 2000s run.
Yeah, he did put up numbers.
He could have left that same year that the Heatles was born, but he took less money to stay because Heat culture. Okay. And for those that can't see, because we're not recording the video here, I'm putting my thumbs up when I said that.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
You're right.
So demonstrative.
That's part of my charm.
So I'm going to go with Mike Miller because I do recall him, and Lucas will correct me because he was really into the Heat at the time. He was the ultimate spot-up shooter, and there were several games in those Heat runs, the Heatle runs, where he would get hot and nail like multiple three-pointers and stop runs or really cause the opposing team to call timeout because Mike Miller was a sniper, right? So I would say out of that championship team, Chalmers was a starter, but I still think he kind of played a role because he wasn't needed to shoot. He didn't average that many assists, but he kind of knew his role. But for shooting and production purposes, I'll say Mike Miller.
Okay.
I don't hate Mike Miller, but he was an all-star at one point in his career.
True.
Yeah, Mike Miller wasn't bad. Wasn't bad at all. And real quick before I move on, the next season, the 2012-2013 season, they added a couple players, most notably Ray Allen, pretty much saved their finals run with that clutch three with like seconds left on the clock.
Yeah.
Man, that team was so loaded. The amount of guys you mentioned that just were like ring chasing, I hate that term, but it is what it is. And I would do it too if you could play with like Prime, Wade, and LeBron. But I forgot they added Ray Allen to that mix.
Yeah, Ray Allen, Chris Anderson, Birdman.
Oh yeah. That's when they did that video where they
the Harlem Shake.
Yeah.
Birdman was doing the thing.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah. That was a fun video.
Yeah. And Rashard Lewis.
That was such a good sneaky.
That was
if Rashard Lewis played in today's NBA, he would have been a multi-time
He was
all-star.
like 6'11" sniper, right?
6'10", 6'11", was shooting threes at a pretty high clip.
Yeah, he was good.
He was good.
He was drafted out of high school.
He had a weird release though. It kind of looked like he had like both hands up like in the same spot, and it was like just a wrist flick, and that was it almost.
Yeah.
Not very much extension, but you know what? He hit him at a really high rate. Gosh, like I said, if Rashard Lewis played in today's NBA, he would be a max player just because of how much he would shoot.
Yeah. All right, so let's finish this off with the 2018-2019 Miami Heat roster. This is when Dwyane Wade last season, he retired after this season, went back to Miami, kind of was a mentor to some of the younger players like Bam Adebayo, who's still developing into a really good big in today's game. Ryan Anderson, Goran Dragic was on that team. Wayne Ellington, once again, UD. James Johnson also was a good role player as well. Derrick Jones Jr., Kelly Olynyk, Josh Richardson, Duncan Robinson, Justice Winslow, and Hassan Whiteside.
Oh, gosh. I remember what Hassan Whiteside. He had like a 3-year stretch.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah, he had a 3-year stretch where he was a good big.
It's wild the amount of like the second round picks or like undrafted guys that you just named that have like legit careers and got like, and the guys that were top 10 picks that you named, like outside of Bam being a lottery pick.
Like Winslow kind of fizzled out.
Like Winslow, but then you think of like the guys like Duncan Robinson, Derrick Jones Jr. Yeah, those guys are like legitimate.
James Johnson still has an NBA.
James Johnson, Kelly Olynyk.
I think he got re-signed again by the Pacers.
Crazy. Yeah. So shout out Pat Riley.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about Heat culture, but at the end of the day, when you can hit on late round picks and they become actual good players for your franchise, it's good. And shout out Eric Spoelstra as well, the coach.
The Heat are good at drafting in the middle of the first round too. Mm-hmm. Bam was the 13th or 14th pick. That kid they drafted looked really good in summer league. The center,
where
he looked like a top 5 rookie.
Yeah. I mean, they hit. Hawkins last year.
Yeah,
Hero.
Yeah, they developed really well. Yeah, and don't forget about the player that was not mentioned that he recruited. And that 2019,
the next season,
Jimmy Butler. Yeah.
All right, so let's finish this up, and let me ask you guys this: who complimented Dwyane Wade's game the most throughout his career?
Ooh,
Start with Lucas.
Can you come back to me?
All right, let me go to your right.
Can you come back to me?
So 2 passes. Then are you going to shoot?
I'll say LeBron. I mean, I think they just, they made 4 NBA finals?
Yes.
I think, it's LeBron. The Celtics had a super team technically, but guys were kind of that super team. Everyone was still young and in their prime. You'd never really see anything like it. Because the Celtics guys were kind of getting there in age a little bit.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of exciting to have like a all-star team. So it's got to be LeBron. And then LeBron recruited, he kind of got all these players. And so, I mean, I know it's unfair for the rest of the league, but it was fun to watch like as a fan. So it's definitely LeBron.
And remember, there was a scenario where they could have had Carmelo as well.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
So I'll go. I'm gonna say not LeBron. I actually think Dwyane Wade had to take a step back in his game for LeBron to work. So I'm not going to say LeBron. Actually, I'm going to say Shaq because Shaq gave him the keys. They made a great 1-2 punch in their short run. I'm going to say Shaq. The Shaqtus, the
That's
Diesel.
a good one. That's a good one. But I am going to say LeBron just because look at all the lobs that those guys shared over the years. Some of the most iconic highlights, photographs. Like you guys know the one where Dwyane Wade is kind of putting his arms out while LeBron slams it home. So I think those two guys, the fact that they came into the league together, they've been friends from day one. They played together. Love it or hate the idea of super team or he's bringing his talents to South Beach. Forget all that. Basketball-wise, that was probably one of the most exciting teams to ever play together, including Chris Bosh. So I'll go with LeBron, like Ben.
I don't know, guys. If you have to take a step back in your game in order for your teammate to succeed, does that make him your best teammate?
But what's more important, like flourishing individually or winning?
Well, let's go back to the question. What was the question, Maurice?
Who complimented Dwyane? Who complimented Dwyane Wade?
When I think of complimenting, I mean I think of bringing the best out of them.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
I'll concede.
I think I agree, but like I think what Uriah and I are kind of saying is like you rarely see players in their prime like have a super team. I don't know if we'll ever see that again.
I get it because they like Dwyane Wade was a really great compliment to LeBron James, and they won a lot. But LeBron James was not a good compliment to Dwyane Wade.
Well, just wait until Anthony Edwards plays on the super team because in the Olympics, they're exchanging phone numbers.
You can make the argument he's on a super team. Cat got the All-Star nod. Rudy got Defensive Player of the Year and All-NBA.
Kevin Durant. Durant to Minnesota.
I think I know. I think that there's 2 players recruiting him, and I think it's a player we just mentioned. Anthony Edwards' teammate.
Okay.
And Bam. I think Bam is going to recruit Edwards. And it's Bam or Tatum.
Yeah.
Well,
Bam is the guy I think they're going to recruit.
I know you hate the word heat culture, Ben, but Anthony Edwards kind of represents heat culture.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. He'd be a good fit.
Now that we've given you all the facts on Anthony Edwards and Dwyane Wade, it's time for you to make your case.
At this point, it's not about our opinion. It's about yours.
We'll see you on your favorite social media platform. Ready to check out your takes. Chime in on our Instagram at NBA_now_and_pod. On X at NBA_now_and and on our YouTube page, NBA Now and Then.
For the sources of information used in this episode, you can visit our website, www.nbanowandthen.com. Also, visit our website to sign up for a monthly newsletter and to check out our comparison articles.
Don't forget that you can follow the NBA stars we featured on today's episode through their social media.
You can follow Anthony Edwards on X at @TheAntEdwards_ and on Instagram at @TheAnthonyEdwards_.
And you can follow Dwyane Wade on X, on Instagram at Dwyane Wade.
All right. It's great to be back for season 2. We got over 35 episodes planned for you guys. This has been NBA Now and Then, the greatest comparisons. We'll check you out next time. Peace.
See you
later.
Have a good one.
if you go down the YouTube rabbit hole with your highlights, if you go down the YouTube rabbit hole with their highlight videos, you may never come out. That's funny.
You may never come out. You'll never be the same.
If you never, well, it's funny because like YouTube rabbit hole is like it's like red pill terminology. Anyway,
no, I mean reels. I get addicted to reels on YouTube all the time. I get it.
No, but like YouTube anyway.